I say, let me patronize. Let me also come in and chip in to
Yes, sir.
boost the morale.
That's really important. We are so glad to have you, and
Welcome.
we believe in you. We know that you are someone who has a lot of insight in issues like this. And like we were talking yesterday about the Confess, and that it was an exceptional thought that you put together, and then you guys did something that could only be best described as magnificent. So we appreciate you guys
Oh, it's a
so so
team
much.
effort. You know, if you see this thing that they say two drivers cannot drive a boat, I think that is a very different situation because in this case we had many drivers, and that's why the event was successful. It all depends on how well the drivers coordinate with each other. That's why even flying a plane, you need a pilot and a co-pilot,
Yeah.
and they have to work together. And if they don't work together, we all know what's going to happen. Um, I want to also say you did a marvelous job on covering the event as well, Kelly. And you know, just like you, we also improved as from last year. You know, because there were so many innovations, and you yourself, we saw a lot of improvement from what happened last year to this year, and the end result was just marvelous. You know, so I want to say congratulations on behalf of all the organizing committee. That was a job well done. Yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Indeed.
So we were discussing about how we can best build our nation, Cameroon, and we all understand that it is a work in progress. Like nothing just comes out of nowhere. Everything needs to be planned out carefully, and there needs to be spoken time and time and again before it can actually get done. So we would like to get your own insight as to the whole situation that we all have found ourselves in Cameroon and the way forward.
um, you see, I had a rare opportunity while I was still at the University of Boya. During my last year, I had the rare opportunity to pick up a part-time job in the same University of Boya to lecture civics and ethics, which is one of the requirements before you would graduate from the University of Boya. And one of the topics in civics and ethics is what we call nation building. And for some reason, every year there would always be a question on nation building, and it will still give people a lot of headache even after you've done so much revision times without number. Now, nation building, it's if I remember going back to my days, one of the most important issues of nation building is patriotism. Um, you see, when we look at, for example, here in Bangkok, um, given the fact that I've also lived in the States, there are some functions that I attend where you find former US Marines, vet, and so on. And whenever they get into the room, you see everybody will stand up and say, "Thank you for your service." That's patriotism. You know that these people actually gave up something to protect the nation because they love the country. They were not doing it for the money, they were not doing it for the fame, but they were doing it for the love of the country. Now, with that in mind, um, back home we have a system that is very technical. Now, I was listening, and there's one way I would describe this. Our hands are tied, but they are not tied. Somebody will tell you, my hands are tied. Actually, your hands are not tied, but you've already come with this preconception that your hands are tied because it's very, very simple. If you are a principal of a school, for example, um, it's up to you to admit a child without an envelope under the table. So you cannot tell me your hands are tied. Your hands are not tied. So even in terms of governance and the government and so on, people would always say, "Oh, that's how it works. That's how it works." My predecessor, that's what they did. I can't actually do more than my predecessor. Now, looking at it from that point of view, if I also had that mentality, we will not be having Anglo-Tai now. We will not be having Confess now. So that's why I say, even though they keep saying, because I'm not going to lie to you, if I had listened to other people who literally told me that, Prof, it's an impossibility to put Cameroonians under one roof in the name of culture. People will kill themselves. People will fight. People will do this. If I had listened to that, we would never have the. So when people keep saying my hands are tied, or I think it starts with, do you actually love the country? Because for me, I love the Cameroonian community here in Thailand. I'm patriotic about the community. That's why I go extra miles to make sure that something is done or we have something that we're doing. So these people back home, I keep asking them this question, you know, do you actually love your country? Do you have love for your country? Look at where we find ourselves. We find ourselves in Thailand. Thais are very patriotic. They are very patriotic, and they are what they fall under the category that is called ethnocentric. Ethnocentric means you think your culture is above every other culture. Everything they will tell you that Thai culture first, Thai first. And because of that, me myself, you can see, and Kelly, you can also testify to this. From when you came to Thailand and now, Thailand is not exactly the same. It has been evolving every single day, every single day, every single day. I came to Thailand where I was in the northeast in Nakhon Ratchasima, where it had one single Tesco. But if you go to Korat now, from information that is coming in, they are thinking of transferring the economic capital to Nakhon Ratchasima. That is nation building. They have vision for their country. You know, if you give a Thai person a project to execute, the first thing they'll start thinking is, if I don't execute this project properly, it will harm me because I may require the services of this same project that I want to poorly execute. So I will try my utmost best to execute it properly because I may benefit from it someday as well. That is patriotism. That is love for your country. The question is, those in power, how many of them can attest to that? They will keep telling you, I don't know. I don't actually know because there's nothing there to know. So when I look at it, it's 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 something that is heartbroken, you know, and it's something that I find we have the will, we have that ability to affect that change, but we just don't want to. We just don't want to. It's like everybody is playing a partial role, while I'm here. Let me try to siphon the most I can get,
Yeah.
and then when my time is up, I disappear. You don't have that whole knowledge of, no, what is going to be my legacy? What would they remember me for? What would I try to do? You have some few people who are trying to instill some changes. And you see how they are being fought, from end to from this place to this place, from west to east. I remember when I was in Tico, when Richard Tita Fofombo was elected the Lord Mayor, and he had so much zeal and so much enthusiasm to develop Tico. He opted to tar that road for free, for free. They told him no. The government said no. Give us the money to tar it. And we all know that's an impossibility. You know, some point in time he started. I personally, back then, I was the president of Bakuri, student at the University of Boya. We went to his house. We sat when he just newly opened 3813, and you could see the frustration that he had, wanting to do some. You are not asking for a single franc from anybody, yet you meet all these roadblocks, you know. And finally, at the end of the day, that particular road, I use it every time I go to Cameroon. It's the worst road ever. It's the worst road ever. So um, I start thinking that this whole ideology, you see, before you even get there, you have already been doctrined that your hands are tied. Yes. So by the time you go there, you have the whole philosophy of my hands are tied. Who actually tied your hands?
Good
Who?
question.
So if you are the provincial delegate for transport and there's a contract that has been awarded, who has actually tied your hand to prevent you from leaving your office and going to the field to see if that work has been done? So when you keep saying that my hands are tied, I'm very, very confident that it's the doctrine that you have been pre-programmed with before you even enter to your position of responsibility or authority, because it doesn't cost you anything. You know, I went to see of somebody here at the airport here in Bangkok. And on that day, the Prime Minister paid a surprise visit just to make sure that the work was being done, the work was going on. Was her hand tied? Is because she is patriotic, she loves her country. She loves to see her country grow. That's that's the thing. Um Irrespective of colonialism or whatsoever, um, the whole point is that you send your children to school so that they should be better than you in the future. Not that they will be like you, they should be better than you. Okay. We can, in quotes, say our colonial masters sent us to school. It's our job to make sure that we are better than them, rather than still trying to make sure that they still send us to school. They have already done their part. It's left for us to find a way forward. But yet, we have been doctrined in such a way that it's just ludicrous. It's just ludicrous. I will give another example. I had to leave. Um, I had to go to Cameroon to do my wedding. I was here in Thailand. I sent all the necessary documents to the council in Tico. Um, the money that was required of me, I sent it. When I arrived there, they told me that the mayor was not on seat. He has traveled. And my question is, this is the guy who signed my documents to preside over my wedding on this particular day, and he is traveling. When I went to see the deputy told me he knows nothing about that. He wasn't informed. He has nothing about that. So I had to start the process all over again, pay new fees, and so when I looked at the whole situation, I just looked at him and I shook my head. And I said, and this is what is killing us. This is what is killing us. Because we have that innate mentality that has been put that we can never be better than what we are. We can only be at this level. We cannot go beyond that, you know. So the entire system, most of the people that I find there, I tell them, even when we are singing the anthem and I see them standing up and they are singing the anthem, and I shake my head. I said, these are all wolves in sheep clothing. I don't think they know what that anthem means, but they are singing it, you know. So that's just my own take. My own take on this whole issue is that we keep using the phrase, or we keep hiding behind the phrase that our hands are tied, but actually they're not. We're just hiding behind that. And that's the worst thing ever. And that's why there is no growth, you know. When I left Cameroon, Tico had one of the best roads when I left, you know. When I went back, it had one of the worst roads ever, you know, from bad to worse. It gets to a point where the stretch that was meant for the road cannot be used, and now cars are entering inside a government school compound, using it as a walk away round, then get back onto the main road and then start going. And that is where 11th February and 20th May takes place, the grandstand where the divisional officers and all these people sit. And then you tell me that our hands are tied. Yeah, that's story
Oh,
na story from Matango
it's like
House.
it's like thank you very much, Mola. But it's like we all have Tico in common. Yes.
I'm, I have lived in Tico, and that's even where our family residence is. So um, Tico is I had so much hopes for Tico, but unfortunately,
A well
um,
Tico is well planned for it not to be easy. It can easily be developed because it's well planned. Structural roads, nice quarter number, house numbering, everything is perfect in Tico. I don't know why. It just need to take it to the next level, but it's so backward. I mean, you cannot compare Tico and Boya, and I mean, what's happening?
no. Tico is well planned. I mean, look at from Street One all the way over by at the end of the market. All the
Yes,
streets have been planned. All the streets
yes.
have been planned. All the streets have been planned. Where you just need to develop the road networks because the plan has already been made. It's just left for you to do the final touches. There are two ways to get in. Once, as you're getting in front of the post office, you can pass through Presbyterian Church or you can pass through the pharmacy. Uh, uh, the thing, that this last time that I went there, oh my God, the road going to Down Beach where the gendarme is, that stretch right there, it was horrible. I finally gave up. I said I could not even drive in Tico. I went and parked the car, and I prefer to walk because driving was an impossibility. everybody is fighting on one particular stretch, both outbound and inbound traffic on one small, because of a huge pothole in the middle of the road. And that same stretch, all the administrative of officials use that same road.
Professor, let me ask you something. I mean, if you know we can complain about our country from now, we have been complaining. My parents complain. I think our grandparents complain, right? You are like a father to me, you complain. I'm still complaining. At what point, nothing changed from the complaint, right? At one point, are we going to see like, okay, to hell with the complaint, let me put everything behind me. As a community, what can we do to save ourselves, right? As a community, this one now government out, mayor out. As a community can start from my house, neighbors, and so on. 100 people, this neighborhood, 500 square kilometers. What can we do to save our community? And then we contaminate the country towards that point because it's not helping. The campaign is not helping. So what can we do at our level, no matter the space given to us? What can we do to save our community? Because nobody is helping us. So let us help ourselves. What do you think?
Well, that's a very good point, and it it's something that we need to start first of all by doing sensitization amongst ourselves. Um, I'll give you a very practical example. Um, there was there was a guy who left the state, came and he built a very nice house in Moliko. But the question was, the street was pretty bad, and the community, he went like from house to house, talked to the people, talked to the people, and this is what he said. He said, if he takes on that project, it could be a problem, but he wants the community to come in, like everybody to chip in. But that is just a camouflage, but he will sponsor the entire project so that it should be a community thing. You know,
Yeah.
people accepted, people agreed, and so on, and work started. But one person was not contented, went and ratted him out. And the next day we saw they have written a sign, Boyaroa Council, please stop work, see the mayor. You know, so we need to be able to sensitize our people. We need to be able to say that is why myself, particularly whenever I go to Cameroon, there's always a workshop that I hold at the University of Boya to sensitize the students, because I discovered that most of them, the only thing they know is Europe and the US. That's it. But they don't know that Asia is now becoming the hub. Singapore itself is the financial hub. You know, they are missing up on all these opportunities. So I always hold this workshop to sensitize the students about the different opportunities that are here and how they can go about it. And with that little sensitization, you can start to develop a community that becomes dependent, or rather that becomes independent on their own and start to do things by themselves. And we also try to push projects where they can do mini micro projects at the level of the university. Now we have a small factory in UB that produces local soap. And with that, they are using it to help the less privileged, and they are just giving it out to people. But this is something that the government is supposed to be taking care of, is supposed to be doing. There are funds allocated by the UN for this, but it's not. But if you want to wait on them, it will grow on your head. But these projects are being done, and these micro projects are being carried out in different societies. And I also recently came across the paramount chief of Boya, who has complained until finally, he decided to solve the water crisis in Boya by building a tank, tapping the source from the mountain. He went around the world where he raised funds for that. He went to the US, he went to the UK, he went to Germany, and he built one of the largest water reservoir tanks, tapping the source of water from the Boya Mountain, which is supplying. So the Boya town area now, and gradually going down to Mbongo Square and to Clark's Quarters, they are not witnessing that water shortage again anymore. So these are the kind of people. And funny a thing enough, he's a paramount chief, but he was Western educated. He had his PhD in the US. He grew up in the US. He lived in the US, and he has realized that rather than complaining, just do it.
He did something that I admired a lot. Before I traveled, I came to Thailand in 2022. He volunteered. At that time, I was computer science teacher PCS at Boya. So he came for the governor's meeting. He volunteered that the next academic year, he was going to teach computer science as a guest teacher, PCS Boya. But I left before that project started. I don't know if he actually went and taught students, but he actually volunteered that I'll teach people computer science. Give me a course, give me a program and everything. I'll teach people for free. I'll inspire you people. I mean, that is how a leader do, because we need his voice and we need his inspiration.
Yes, he's one of the persons that I admire the most. And whenever I go back home, I always go to his palace. I visit him. We'll have a chat. Just like you said, the last December when I was there, he was also trying to spearhead a project with one private university in Boya. Is it Hipmat? Something of that sort, where he was trying to start a project to educate these youths to be sufficient and economic by themselves. Sufficiency philosophy, so that they can innovate. They shouldn't wait on people, that they can go ahead and start doing things by themselves. And I was even saying this time around, when I go back, I would go back and ask him, how far has he gone? Because this is somebody who has realized that rather than complaining. I mean, look at the huge convention center that he's about to put up. Not asking money from the government, but you will discover that when that convention center will be functioning, government or officials will be holding functions there.
Oh,
You know,
yeah. They are the ones who have
I
activities. It will not surprise, because they are the ones who have activities and seminars all the time, right? So
exactly.
they'll probably make use of it. I mean, just like you're saying, there's a program. There's a program in Cameroon where they have these junior parliamentarians. They take
Yes.
students and organize, they train them, right? Have seminars. But do you know that these students have never used the parliamentarian flat for the launching of their hotel as junior parliamentarians? Nobody's funding that for them. I mean, then what is the purpose of them being a parliamentarian at the junior level if they cannot use their own flat as parliamentarian flat? You get, so that is just a double standard in the government that I don't understand.
I mean, there's there is a wave that is coming. There is a wave that is coming, and I see it. And when I see people start taking initiatives and following through, and no matter what, no matter how much you threat them, they really don't care, and they see it through, because it's for the benefit of the community and it's for the benefit of the population at large. That is what I see coming, because people have started taking initiative. Because when I remember, the water crisis in Boya was really bad.
Yeah.
It was It was really, really, it was really bad. And I keep asking myself, Boya is the administrative capital. We have all these administrators. You mean for tell me say the people they so they don't fit put their hands together. Any man will always say my hands are tied. Who tied your hands?
That's so convenient for them to say Namola. That's the thing. And that's the thing that really gets me angry about the situation in Cameroon is that those who are supposed to do something will not do it. And it's not like they have to do everything. At least just do one thing at a time and gradually we'll get everything done. But no, they won't do a single thing and they'll keep on complaining. And they've kind of drilled this mentality down into us. Like Mola said, my hands are tied, or maybe I'm not in control, or maybe we are being influenced by external forces. All those things are just lies, because they are the one embezzling from state coffers. They are the ones stealing funds from the treasury. They are the ones making bottlenecks within every single thing you want to do in Cameroon. So how come you guys are able to do those ones successfully and get money into your pocket, but to give us the common people a single road to go somewhere, your hands are tied. But to give us maybe just light, just let us have light to like lit up our houses, then your hands are tied. That is what I said from the beginning. These people are so unpatriotic to an extent that you cannot even begin to imagine who they really are. That's just my own opinion about them. And I think that it's good for us to have talks like this because I believe that information is very powerful. And for far too long, we, the Cameroonians, are not that informed on many things. If we begin to talk about things like this, people begin to understand what is going on. A day will come when people will realize that they have to do something to change the nation as a whole, and the nation will change.
Definitely. Definitely. If you look at even here in Thailand, the very project that Cameroon is trying to enforce, it's been enforced here in Thailand as well, with the junior parliament, and they actually let these kids to be part of making the rules, making the laws, and so on. When you go to the government house, these kids, it's like it's coming from all over, and they actually have something that they work towards, and they actually implement it, so um if this has been done, and I've also been a part of the young diplomats forum, which is organized by the UN, and
Yeah.
basically what is being discussed in that particular session by the young diplomats, it is expected at the top level of the UN as well, because they will bring a particular problem and they will ask you guys to talk about it and find a solution. And that solution that you sort out, it's been outsourced to professionals to carry it out. And the next Young Diplomat Forum, they give a report that from the last forum, this is what was discussed, and this were the products, this is how it was implemented. And now we have this other problem that we want you guys to look at it. So you see that it's paramount for you to be a part of this discussion because you're making a change in the world as a whole, and you're being a part of that change. But in Cameroon, it's just weird because I do remember they will even hold a whole thing of like, we're going to have a symposium for project ideas, and students will go prepared. They will make everything, and then you will see the winner, but that's where it ends. It just ended. The winner, that's it. Nothing is being done.
Okay, Prof, you mentioned something about my mon delegate fee, right? I was also fortunate to be part of that community, and I just wanted to tell our viewers that it's a nice forum for people to join, and they have upcoming conferences in New York, America, for delegates that are under 25 years old in between 10th of June to the 12th of June 2025. If you can take care of your delegate fee, you are fortunate to have a visa, you go. If you are a student, fine. There's another one in Madrid, and then there's another one um, in Austria. So people who are interested, you can always contact Global Agent who will provide you the link. You can go apply and you join the Maimon. For young delegates, students in Cameroon, all over the world that you want to participate in political talks and grow, right? I think last one held in Thailand, I was not able to attend that, but it's a really
Yeah.
good conference, online and on-site. Yeah, but these ones are on-site. So if you can take care of the delegate fee, you can be part of the community. You can have your visa if you're young, right? If you have your passion, you just have to try, and then it will change your life. Trust me. Thank you, Mola,
Yeah,
for mentioning. It's really useful.
it's very, very effective. It's very, very effective. And all these programs, they make you understand that change can start within you, and you must not wait for somebody to tell you to effect change, because the little things that you do, the little things that you say are very, very important in the life of one or two persons that you come across. So,
Yeah,
um, who knows? Maybe somebody watching this right now might get some inspiration to do a small startup something somewhere to better the community. And I keep telling people, whenever people say, "Oh, wait the Anglo Thai don't do for me," I said that's the wrong concept. What have you done for
For
Anglo
Anglo
Thai?
Thai.
If you haven't done anything, then just stay mute, because you are not supposed to be asking what has the community done for you, given the fact that you are in that atmosphere. That is a very privilege, for you to be part of that community. So what are you doing to help that community? you
we
know
remember said last time, right? Okay, Mola, just finish so that before I get to.
yes, yes. And that's the message I am pushing across, because if we all keep asking what has the community done for us, then there would be no community, because
Yeah,
everybody is expecting something. But if you can boast of, this is what I've done for my community, then you start seeing that you don't even need, you will automatically get your rewards 10,000 folds. So let's start doing something for the community rather than expecting something from the community.
yeah. We need to kill that entitlement spirit. I told you we are too entitled as Cameroonians. We always expect something, but we are not chipping in. We are not ready. We are lazy enough. So it's that same entitlement. You cannot come to a community and you're expecting the community to bow down for you, whereas you're part of the community. You're part of the body making, you're part of the rules. So you have to participate. You have to show your interest, and then you benefit while doing that and see other people benefiting. So we are too entitled, and we need to erase that. We need to work hard, and we need to grow. Exactly what you said.
Yes, entitlement, it's something that I don't know where is that spirit of entitlement coming from, because if you look at where we come from back home, we all know where we come from and where we're going to. So is it because that you've been out of that atmosphere that you've had a shift in processing information, that you feel you're entitled to something, you know? And I feel very sad when I see that. I feel very sad when I see that, because with that, we will never go further. We will never go forward. But at the moment, I think there is a wave of change in our community, because people have started realizing that it's better to give to your community rather than expect from your community. And when I see, like, for example, during the last festival, when I saw the national anthem being played, the way people sang with you, that enough. Whenever I watch that, I feel like tears should come down my eyes, and I'm like, this is what it's supposed to be like. This is how you feel like when you like your country. So, I honestly believe that gradually, things are changing, and by the grace of God, we will definitely have a change in our community and our country as a whole.
Thank you for that, Mola. Thank you for that. We are
Definitely.
really happy to have you on the platform. In fact, you shared enough or more than enough, and we hope that whatever you've shared here today will benefit the viewers. So I think we've come to the end of the show for today. But before we go, Mola Fange, please, do you have some few last words to bless us with?
Um, Life is very simple, but we make it complicated. We make it so complicated we forget that life is so simple. And why do I say this? It's because I don't think we all realize that we are living on borrowed time, you know. And because we don't realize that, we use that time doing useless things that do not benefit us. And before you want to realize, your time is up and then you've not done anything. So use the little time that you have and make the most of it, because you don't know when your battery is going to run out. You buy a battery, you put it on a wall clock and it's ticking, you know, and you lose track before you want to realize. One day you're looking at the wall clock and it's showing you 2 a.m. in the morning and you're like, what was then you look at your wristwatch, it's 3 p.m. and you see it was so easy for the battery to run out. And that is how life is. It's so easy for us to lose track. So let's use our time wisely, because we are all living on borrowed time.
Well, thank you very much for that wise advice, and we all will take it to heart. What about you, Global Agent, my very good friend, Mr. Gustav? Please give us some few last words.
Well, just to conclude, that's all right. I always say when you persist for something, nothing can resist you. So have your interest in life, focus on your interest, positive interest, and do not wait for somebody. There's nothing that is supposed to be given to you. Go and grab it. Put in the work. Everybody put in the work. So put in the work every day and persist until you make it. That's the formula. It has not changed. It will not change. It's not given to you. You have to take it and you have to put in the work every blessed day. Have an interest, develop interest, and you make it. That's it.
Oh, thank you very much. That's it. That's it. I tell people, we all have to be patient. We all have to be consistent, and we all have to be like intentional. That's the thing we all are lacking in our beloved nation, Cameroon. And I also tell people that information is very powerful. Don't let anyone fool you. I have seen people who have told me that, oh, Kelly, what are you talking about? Nobody cares about what you're saying. People don't care about what you're saying. I'm like, no, people care. The fact that you're telling me that people don't care, it means you care. Because if you do not care, you will not spend your time telling me that people don't care about what I say, right? So we must put out this information, and people hear them. People hear them over and over again, and then they get more informed, and then this helps form their decisions about the things they do. So I really appreciate when we come like this and we try to share our thoughts and opinions on the things that matter a lot to us. So I want to thank you guys for being on the show today, and hope to see you guys some other time. Please take care, all of you.